I don't. Oh,
Oh,
I.
Look
How
around worried to make sure that it's not going to happen to us.
how long were we? Oh, I'm
I've
so
forced
tired.
marched before in the army and such, but I've never been this wiped out.
He's. Uh,
Sink to the ground with Dyra beside me.
I think once we left, however long we were there, it just caught up with us, and well, he was there a lot longer.
Would have had to have been days at least. Start digging through the pack for a wine skin with water in it.
Weeks or we'd be dead, but
Vi will take a drink of the water, a couple of gulps, but not too much, and then gesture at Norlin, who seems to still be able to have some ability to move, to pass it around. She just slumps.
Norland will take a swig and then walk it over to the next person. Maybe we'll try to help Dyra a bit more if Dyra is completely out of it.
can we sleep here?
You can see about a kilometre away a rundown keep through the forest. The forest is green. You can hear animals, birds. It does not feel a supernatural, desolate kind of area. It feels like a normal forest.
Hopefully, with the water and stuff, we're feeling a little stronger, and then Vi will dig out some food as well.
Well, I went on a journey to get away from home, and it seems I've turned up near it somehow.
We're near your home?
Vaguely, perhaps. This is the dim light forest, I think. This isn't where there's no houses in the trees. We found him, and he's dead, so what now?
I mean, all we had to do was find him, right?
Is there anything left of where he came apart? Any kind of sign of, a signet ring or anything like that
Sure,
that would...
sure. Yeah.
Well, at least we have some kind of evidence, and she'll just gesture towards the pile of debris. And
I don't know. I know we only were hired to go and do a job for money, but it feels a little anticlimactic, you know? Feels like he should have come back and fixed things or something.
I would have liked to have known who would have trapped him.
Him and how many others?
You said he spoke of a trap? I missed that.
He was speaking of one as we approached. He was talking about how he was one of the people that helped protect the city, but that there was a trap, and he knew it was coming, but that he didn't know what it was. I assume simply because of whatever magic had clouded his senses. He didn't realize he was in the trap.
I wonder if some of those other bodies then were his other members of his order.
Maybe, but there were hundreds.
Well, someone sent out those invitations. That's weird.
And I don't understand. They knew it was tailored to each person, but they knew things beyond what you could just sense about someone who was there. They had our names on the invitations. They said things that were things that only, well, they said things that only I would know.
Yeah, but did they ever say anything that was really of interest to us? Or was it just information that they gleaned from our minds? Is there not magic that can do that?
Maybe. I'm sure there is, but that can keep someone alive for hundreds of years. It was illusion, but also mind manipulation, but also he was not dead. And yet the others died. Of what? I don't know. If it was simply hunger for having been there so long, you would think he would have perished as well.
Yeah. Curious.
I didn't like it, and I don't like it still.
Still bothers me though. Why the trap? Like, what did they hope to achieve?
To get him out of the way, I suppose. But why not just kill him?
Yeah. And like you said, that would have been unusual magic. Not that I know much about that, but seems like a huge scale to invest in. And
Well, Norland would know more than I.
look at Norlin.
But I can tell you that the weave of magic is such that it can halt the effects of time. Someone has learned to manipulate the magic this way and has used it in this place. For what purpose, I don't know.
But it would be big magics, right? It would be a lot of effort, a lot of resources. Would it not?
Possibly. That is going to depend on the user. To be certain.
So just
But it is beyond my abilities. So as a general rule, one might say yes.
Are you pretty powerful as far as magic users go?
I am but a novice.
Ah, so there would be many more powerful. Do you know of anybody that could do this?
Perhaps some of the revered mages of Indarasia might possess such power, but I've not come across any that might know such a spell.
She just nods her head at that. That just confirms what she was thinking.
Well, are we going anywhere? Because if not, I'm going to sleep right here.
I don't know if we are in any condition to go anywhere. Maybe get out of this ring of stones, and then I'll take first watch. We try to get some water and food in Dyra too.
Yappy is going to sleep. On the ground. She's not going to move out of the circle of stones. She's too tired. She's just staying there.
Vi will try to stay awake as long as possible and then wake someone else up, or attempt to wake somebody else up. And if that doesn't work, then she'll eventually go to sleep herself. Wake up and eat and drink again, and then look about.
Nothing much has changed. You can see the keep in the distance, about 1 kilometer away.
Waking up, seeing all this dried visceral on him, and then he just gets up and runs into the forest. And he keeps running until he finds water.
Vi will follow after.
He disappears beneath the water for what seems like an eternity, that you're almost worried that he was trying to drown himself. And he pops back up. And he doesn't look at you. He keeps averting his gaze. And he's looking even more meepishly than he usually does.
Vi will just nod at you, and she takes. She had brought along basically a surcoat, or a surcoat, yeah, a surcoat, and just leaves it there by the stream that he can put on. I'm sure it'll cover most of his body, considering his size and hers. So, and she just nods again and gives him his piece and heads back. When Vi gets back to camp, she'll just let them know, the others know that he's just cleaning off in the stream.
That makes sense.
Having looked at the keep a few times, do we see any smoke or anything rising from that direction?
Nope. You can clearly see the keep through the trees, like the tops of it, but there is no smoke.
How much can we see of it? And if we can see it clearly enough, can we see if it's in disrepair or?
It does look in disrepair. It has blue towers, but you can certainly see that the tops of one has collapsed. The rafters or supports of another are clearly seen.
Interesting. Keep with no occupants.
Well, I suppose we don't really have any other ideas for places to go at the moment.
There's enough of a structure there. There could still be bandits or something, so we should be careful when we approach, but I don't see any smoke or anything rising from it.
Dyra returns and he sits on the outskirts of the party, facing away, with his knees up, hands around his legs. Dyra starts crying.
Oh no. Oh dear. No.
Anyway, he stands up, pulls his cloak around, looks around at the stones, and seeing the keep's towers above the trees, he starts walking in that direction.
As he passes Vi will hand him the water skin and the some more food. Then she'll pull her stuff together and
He takes the food and sort of realizing that he's weaker than he expected. Sort of his brain was in that fight or flight mode.
So as you travel, the ground slowly becomes a path. A large archway and wall leads into a desolate but once magnificent manor. Seriad Keep is etched upon the stone. The entrance itself is ruined, but the manor and towers, for the most part, are still in place. An armoured door hangs on its hinges by only the barest of margins, leading into the main hall.
Dyra walks up to the main door and bashes on it.
I don't think anyone is home.
Yeah, Yappy will follow the others in.
Vi will follow the others in.
In the main hall, from the rafters, birds are peering down, watching you with much interest. Above, what would have been a beautiful chandelier is now covered in a thick layer of dust. Below it sits a statue of a woman. She holds a pitcher and would have been pouring water into the long since dried up pond that surrounds the area. There is moss growing here, and on the wall, attached, is a warhammer.
I mean, Gilgazo did teleport us here, so maybe this used to be his home?
That would make sense.
Let's look around. Let's see if we can find a study or anything like that. Or we might find some means of identifying whose place this is. Does the inside look like it's been cleaned?
No, not for some time. The chandelier is covered in a thick layer of dust.
Same thing. Okay.
Just open the other doors from this central area where we came in and take a look in each beyond and just see what's beyond each.
One is a garden to the north. with a greenhouse.
Still growing or all dead?
It's still growing, but it's not tended. There are 2 marble gazebos, which are full of very pretty yellow flowers. And a small oak tree is growing in the greenhouse.
What are we looking for here?
I'm looking for food.
I mean, there
Water.
might be something growing.
Did that central fountain look like it was a well or whatever as well? Or if not, Vi will look around for a source of water.
You do not find one in areas 1 or 2.
Oh. Yappy's gonna go look in the greenhouse as Vi had talked about wanting food. She's not really convinced anything would be growing after all this time that's edible, but she's gonna go have
There
a
is
look.
a small oak tree.
Right? She'll have a closer look at that, if only because it is there.
It is healthy and pretty.
Well, unless you feel like eating acorns, I didn't find anything. Not here. Can you eat acorns? Does anyone know? Are they edible?
Imagine they're a nut, right?
I don't know. I'm not a druid.
Probably best not to then.
All right.
Dyer will sneak his way into room 4.
Orange light is shining through a large set of windows. Racks of dust covers weapons that line the walls. There are all sorts of standard weapons here, but they have not rusted. You can replace your short swords if you wish.
Okay, Dyer will replace his short sword and 2 daggers.
You can do so.
And he picks up other swords and wraps them in the cloak that Violence loaned him. And he walks back out into the main courtyard. The sword's rattling on his back.
And there is stairs leading up in that room too, I should say.
Oh,
in
is there?
The keep part, the tower.
Oh. Okay, sorry. He will head up the tower.
The stairs lead up, and you do feel a breeze. A large bell hangs in the center. Gaps in the wall allows a view of the forest. A skeleton is hunched over the wall with a ring upon its finger.
Dyer cries out, yelps, drops the swords, and comes barreling down the stairs. And runs into the courtyard and back outside.
What's the yelling about?
And the clanging of swords and as all the swords he was carrying fall down the stairs.
Was that Dyra that just ran through?
Sounded a little. I'm getting out of the greenhouse. Hang on. Yaffy's going looking for, she assumes, Dyra, whoever was screaming.
That
Where'd
was
he
a
run
Dyer
to?
scream.
Yes.
Out
Where'd he
the
run
front
to?
door.
All right, she's gonna look out the front door. Is he just standing out there?
He's hunched over in a fetal position on the ground.
What happened?
Dead.
Dead?
Dead.
Where? Where were you?
And he looks back and he points at the tower that he was just in.
All right, I'll go look. Are you sure you want to stay there? Go stand behind Vi. She'll hit anything that tries to get you.
Safe out here.
If you're sure. And Yappy's gonna go look for a door to the tower he was pointing at.
And you go through the weapon room, and you can see stairs leading up.
Okay, she's gonna walk up the stairs.
And you can feel the breeze from the forest. And there's a large bell that is hanging in the center. And there is a skeleton hunched against the wall. And you can see a ring upon its finger.
She's not going to take the ring. She's going to walk over and look at it. She wants to see if it looks just like a regular ring or if there seems to be anything odd
It
about
has
it.
etching.
She'll go back down the stairs. Where are Norlin and Vi?
Vi's just coming back into the central area because she was curious what's happening with you guys. She didn't wander too far. She wants to make sure that she's close enough to help anybody that might need it. She looks back out the door to see Dyra out and away from the manor a little ways, but still standing or sitting there on the ground, I guess, and looks up at you as you come back in.
There's a skeleton up there. It alarmed Dyra for, I suppose, understandable reasons. It does seem to have some sort of magical ring, which I didn't touch because that seemed like a bad idea, but it's there.
Maybe Dorvar has some rights for the dead.
Perhaps. Where's he at?
I haven't seen him in a while.
Dwarver wanted to go find a way into the basement, which he doesn't know exists, but I know.
Which he
that I want to
doesn't
go
know
find it.
exists.
I
He
want
just
to go to the basement.
Dorovar says, I bet there's a basement, and he starts digging.
There's always a basement. Always bet in the basement. That's what they say.
Just uproot this here little oak tree and start digging in the dirt, and you'll eventually get to it.
He'll make his own basement if he has to.
He'll make his own.
Dorvar,
Yes.
do you know how to put the dead to rest?
I have not done it in a while, but yes, why?
Apparently there's still some bodies or skeletons around this place.
Well, there's at least one upstairs.
And where might these stairs be?
Oh, this way. And Yaffe will show Dorovar where the stairs are.
He will follow.
There's a skeleton with a ring, which I think is magic, so maybe don't touch that. I don't know. I don't know what it does. It might be wonderful, or it might kill you or something. So,
Not touching it. Got your point across.
well, there you have it. A skeleton.
All right. I can safely say they are at peace now.
Wonderful. I think. I don't know how long they've been here, but. Well, Vi wanted to find food and I didn't find any, just acorns. And then Dyra found a skeleton and we're hardly likely to eat that either, so I suppose we'd better look elsewhere.
Vi's still looking for water, so she's going to wander into the greenhouse to see how these plants are being kept alive, to see if there's a well or something like that at the
There
back.
is not. It appears that there is some cracks now in the glass, and when it rains, the water can enter the greenhouse.
Well, if it is Gilgazo's place, then maybe this will be a reminder. She'll go meet up with the others.
Well, Dorovar put the dead to rest, I suppose.
That's good. I'm going to go see if I can rouse Dyra. I always feel uncomfortable with us being all separated. I'm not even sure where Norlin is.
I don't know. Dyra said it was safer out there.
Yes and no.
Norland was actually looking for, I think specifically he was going to be looking at that room to see if there's anything that looks like a study or anything that might hold any documents. Failing that, he'll rejoin the rest of the party.
Yeah, Vi's going to go talk to Dyra for a moment.
Dara's just sitting on the ground, rocking backwards and forwards, just saying to himself, not making friends, not going to go in there, not going to make friends, no more friends. No more.
Dyra?
No more friends.
Dyra? You have friends?
No, no,
Yes, you do. We're your friends.
no.
We were your friends before, and your friends now.
Friends should be friends who don't make friends to keep friends out of friends in trouble.
Well, you have to admit you did run off on your own. Maybe stay with us. Maybe we can help you.
Hmm. Dyra will be more careful.
Safety in numbers.
Dyra slowly stands up, his head facing down.
I did tell you I was a bodyguard, did I not? Dorvar has hired me. I can keep an eye on you as well.
Dyra thanks you.
Good. Let's catch up with the others.
And Dyra will meepishly follow Violence.
He's going to write his own dictionary.
The Diary of Dyra.
This room would once have been used for training. A large wooden dummy with many chips off it from swords or other weapons, but is now largely empty. There is a scroll, surprisingly not deteriorated, upon the desk.
It can't have been just Gil Gazo that lived here. I mean, it's too big, and apparently people were training in here, and I doubt it was just him in here hitting things. So, who else? Well, that and the skeleton upstairs. Who else was here?
That is what we are endeavoring to find out.
Would have been, helpful if they put a big sign outside, like, this is the, I don't know, society
This
of
is what
people
we're
who
searching
train in
for.
the woods.
Maybe this was the order he belonged to, their guild house. I haven't seen anything yet, but did anybody see any bedrooms?
No.
Not as yet.
That might tell us how many people lived here once we come across them. This is a big enough room for a number of people to train in.
Merlin, there's something you'll like. Paper. With words. Seems your sort of thing.
Take a look at the scroll. Oh. Can I read what it is a scroll of? Casting the spell written on this scroll will sheathe the caster in a protective field from a specific type of energy.
Why would that be in a training room? What were they doing? Shielding themselves and then throwing spells at each other?
That could very well be it, what they did, what they do with it.
Oh.
There is a door to the north and one to the west.
Do you want to hang on to the scroll?
Sure.
Very good. You now have a scroll. Well, there's 2 more doors, which looks like it would lead to a bedroom if that's what we're looking for, or a room full of surprisingly non-perishable food. That would be nice as well. Yaffe's gonna open the door to the west. To the west. She's opening a
It
door
is
to the west.
a passage. There is windows that have cracked that look outside, and a door on the far side, which leads to the other side of the house. Manor.
Well, this one's a hallway. Not very interesting, but goes somewhere.
Dyra's just waiting to see what others are doing. And he's just mumbling to himself. Something about friends and not friends.
Here's a shortcut for you, Dyra. Everyone in this room is your friend, and there are other people in the world who will be your friend, and anyone who tries to kill you, not your friend. Does that help?
Friends, friends running, dead friends running.
No, they weren't friends. They were people who had been trapped.
But I saw them, they were there, they were friendly, they were friends.
What you saw was an illusion, magic. The people that were there, you never met any of them. They were dead before we got there.
And Dyra shakes his head and he's friends dead. Who would torture friends?
Well, there are 2 doors here, and this one's a hallway. Someone can try that one if they like, or we can walk down this hallway. But I don't really care either way.
I'll move forward and open the closest door.
Beyond is a domed room, and it has many shelves as well as 3 ladders to reach the highest areas of the shelves. It appears to be a library of sorts.
Well, what's in there?
Oh, it's, I don't know, shelves of books.
Norland's in luck.
Seems in pretty disrepair. I don't know if there's anything worthwhile in here then. She has no interest in books.
Sorry, yeah, Norland's going through the books.
A book titled The Manual of Whispering Reeds, which is in surprisingly good shape. You also find another book of magical spells. When you are able, you can record either 1 second level spell or 2 first level spells, but not both.
And what was the first?
The Manual of Whispering Reeds. Because once studied, as in properly studied, you can speak to plants once per adventure.
I'll probably do the 2 first level. Beauty.
There's also some incomplete information about an order. It talks about it that was designed to protect the city of Fano, but much is missing, including its name.
The first book you've got there? With the plants on the cover?
Yes, this allows one to commune with nature. Maybe this would be best put into your hands.
No, I was just wondering if someone could try speaking to that oak tree, but
Perhaps that someone should be you.
well, it depends on how long it takes to learn such things, but I can have a flip through it. She puts it away and says, well, I'll read it later. Maybe I can find a bird to talk to.
When the group's ready to move on, or seems like it is, Vi will head down the hallway to the other door.
Within are old wooden benches and tables neatly lined up. Above a squared grid window brings light into the room, and stairs lead down. It looks to have been the manor's mess.
Well, clearly a lot of people lived here, I suppose, or at least ate here, if didn't live here.
Yeah, it looks like they could feed upwards of 50 people in here.
I doubt there's any food left, though.
I doubt
Well,
it too.
there may be food left, but rotten by now.
Or regrown.
Possibly.
Stairs down.
Yes.
Have we checked everywhere else up here yet? No, there's these double doors. She'll move down towards the double doors. Open them up.
And it is a
Ah,
hallway that leads to other rooms. You can see 5 doors.
she'll open the one on the left and then the one on the right.
These have ruined cots and have the appearance that at one point they would have been of slightly better quality.
Foot lockers at the end of the
Yes.
beds type of thing. Somewhat of a barracks thingy here. She'll continue opening the other doors and taking a look in, leaving the corner one to last because it probably leads to the tower they saw outside.
Small rooms which are in a state of disarray. The bedding has been turned over, books long ruined by time are scattered across the floor.
The other ones with the number of beds in each room, those ones didn't look
They
disarrayed?
did not look disarrayed.
Somebody was searching for something in these ones.
I wonder if they found it.
Maybe they didn't have as sharp as eyes as you.
I can take a look, but we might as well all if you think there's something worth finding. Yeah, I feel have a look around.
Dyra, you have pretty sharp eyes too.
Well,
There. What the heck?
I am fairly certain that you are correct, and someone was searching through here. At least it doesn't just look like animals ransacked the room. However, there are 2 options from that little deduction. 1, they found it, or 2, it's hidden so well that neither they nor I can. So someone else is welcome to look, but I'm afraid I've run out of ideas.
Dyra and Norland, do you want to have a look? Norland, there's more books on the floor here.
Don't know if I should look.
Why not?
Uncover something scary.
There isn't. I already looked.
If you promise.
That I've already looked? Yes. Look, I may not have found whatever it was that people were searching for, but I guarantee you, were there something like a skeleton or something, I'm pretty certain I would have seen that.
Dyra is so stressed out.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
That he's not finding anything.
Wow.
I mean, it's hard to find something when you don't know what you're looking for, so there is that.
Maybe he came across a book that was open on a page that had the drawings of. I was going to say anonymity. It's
What?
anonymity.
Anonymity?
Anatomy.
Anatomy.
He found a book with drawings of the concept of anonymity.
Yeah,
It was very
vague
abstract.
and very
and-
abstract.
Well, bar tearing the room apart, I don't know that there's really much else we can find here.
Move to the corner room. One leading to the tower.
Once this room would have been impressive. A dry pond in the centre, an overgrown indoor garden that would have been beautiful. There are books in curved shelves that follow the wall of the tower. A book is open, and while it is dusty, it can be seen is written, "Ether is powerful, but can corrupt the soul." And on the desk is a wooden box.
Can I cast a spell in
If
here?
you wish,
Detect magic?
the box is glowing, or at least something within.
Well, this room is just sad.
Yeah, they didn't do a very good job in water management here.
It just would have been nice, you know?
Okay, I guess I'll try to open it.
Within is a dagger of onyx.
Well, that looks sharp.
Looks like it'll leave an awful painful
Is
wound.
there any writing inside the, like any note or paper
There is
or
not.
anything?
It is a nice wooden case with a felt lining which hugs the dagger perfectly.
I wish I knew enough about such things to have a feeling for whether it is an instrument of pure evil or not.
Dyra sneaks over and picks the dagger up.
Just what do you just elbow Norlin out of the way and pick up this dagger?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Interesting your philosophy on friends.
Uh-huh.
You're just learning that now?
And what are you doing with the possible evil magical? Oh, well, he's got it now.
It's just a dagger. I mean,
Well, I rather understood from what Norlin was doing that it might be a little more than just a dagger.
why?
I'm just saying I the look of it was a little ornate, but I don't know enough about such things to know whether or not.
Why? Is it magical?
It detected as magical.
I wasn't sure if we were aware of that.
Yaffy looks at Dyra and says, well, it's magic. As best as I can tell, it's not necessarily bad. Well, it would be bad for anyone you stabbed it with. It's. How do I put this? I don't really know much about daggers. It will do more damage than you would expect.
Dyra was just about to cut his forefinger on his left hand with it, the end of
What
it, the
are
tip
you
of it.
doing?
Just thinks about it and smiles.
I do distinctly remember saying it looked very sharp, and just now told you that it is magically inclined to damage flesh more than it ought. Please, watch your fingers.
I will.
Huh.
It looks so nice. It
Yes.
feels perfectly balanced.
Well, I imagine it wouldn't feel so if you chopped off one of your fingers with it.
Is there anything in any of the books lining the circular cases? Okay.
Other than the warning that ether can corrupt the soul.
I hope that's not about the dagger. You don't think it's going to corrupt his soul, do you?
That ship has sailed.
Pi's just shaking her head. Weapons are weapons. She's going to go back up into the mess hall and just open that last door into what's probably the kitchen.
The Dyer runs over and stops you and shows you the dagger.
Yes, it's a very nice dagger. It looks very sharp. Looks like it'll leave some jagged wounds too, so be careful with it.
He smiles and as if almost caressing the dagger.
The room beyond has a great many glass jars. Their contents, however, have long since rotted away.
Yep, pretty much as I figured. All right, stairs down.
Leads to a hallway. 3 doors.
Imagine it's dark down there.
It is. A little light coming from above. But not a great deal.
Light one up and hand it to Dyra. So I need both hands for my weapon.
Dyer looks up and takes the torch in his left hand while still holding the dagger in his right. And he's holding the dagger up against the torchlight.
Gleams very prettily. And Vi will head down the stairs.
Okay. You have 3 doors.
So slowly stumbles down the stairs.
Oh, careful, don't stumble, you're carrying a dagger.
The room is dark, but you can just make out the various casks and kegs in here. There are many dust-covered bottles upon the racks, but none of them are usable.
She will have uncorked a few and just taken a whiff, because it had an option to be aged, so it would have been nice. Then move out of there. She'll move a number of the casks just to see if there's anything in them still, or...
There would have been wine and alcohol, which after such a long time is probably aged beyond being cool.
Mm. Well, if we need to clean, I guess there's lots of vinegar. She'll head back out into the hallway, and if nobody else has opened the next door, she'll open that one. Her general procedure is to open the door, take a look in. If anything's going to leap on them, it'll leap on her first. And if nothing does that, she'll just step aside and let the others go into the room. She'll step into the room and to the side.
And it is initiative.
What?
Ah! Had to be something.
Gelatinous cube?
Well, I would like to smash the gelatinous cube with my warhammer. My two-handed one. He will a loud thud as the warhammer smashes against the skeleton of the cube.
You see a large gelatin-like creature, roughly a cube, but somewhat rough. Within it, you can see the glint of coin and a skeleton encased in chainmail.
Dyer drops the torch and flees
Okay.
upstairs.
Dyra! Seeing what Dorovar did, and also still supposed to be his bodyguard, she will move up beside him, unlimber her, maul in a round swing, and then up off to the left, and then down at an angle into the side of this gelatinous cube. Most of the best swing that she can do to this thing is it buries it in deeply, cutting through the gelatin, and then she pulls it out with a...
Is going to try to throw some magic at the alarming looking cube. It's a 15. Okay. So almost as just a response to suddenly seeing this creature, which is a little alarming looking, especially as it has a skeleton in it, she will throw up her hand and a crackling bolt of red energy will fly from it and strike the cube for 12 points of damage.
Norland's going to do something similar, but not as effective. And
He
probably won't be
assumes.
anywhere near as effective because I'll probably miss, but he's going to try to, again, points a finger at it. A mote of fire leaps from his fingertip.
Oh, critical.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. Okay, I did do better
You
damage.
did
There you
very
go.
well.
17 points of fire. It strikes on the surface, and maybe the gelatinous cube, given where it is, we're in the kitchen, are we not? Maybe it just happened to go through some oil,
I thought
cooking oil or something, and we're in a storage room. Then maybe it caught on some, some dust or something that really helped it ignite when the firebolt struck it. And suddenly it really became engulfed in flames for a second.
It lurches
Slurpee.
forward. Oh, I think you're lucky. You are lucky. 16, right?
16 is my
Okay,
armor.
so it's bending and twisting, trying to pull you into itself. It is unable to do so.
As this thing kind of bends and twists through its cuts and its bubbling surface, it kind of drapes over me and starts flowing over my shoulders and where I'm holding on to my maul. And I just give it a twist. The maul is kind of a from left to right in a twisting motion, and that forces it open enough that I just able to pull my arms out and step back a half step.
Another loud thunk. It jiggles and wriggles. Gelatinous pieces go flying across, but it still moves.
Dyer stopped at the top of the stairs.
He can hear the sound of fighting.
He's cringing. As long as he's not hearing them dying.
Then she will continue on with what she is doing. She will continue working on areas that she's hit before, hoping that she can join up with, say, Dorovar's attacks and start kind of quartering or halving this thing. Maybe in smaller amounts we can handle it easier. Or maybe it'll die, who knows. But she will take another swing. This time she brings it up from down below, swinging past her hips, flexing her knees and putting her hips into the swing. Oh, okay. So then in this case, my great weapon fighting style allows me to roll ones and twos, re-roll ones and twos. So I will re-roll those both. It's 11 points of damage to it. Almost slipping in some gelatinous splatter, and but catching myself at the last moment.
She briefly considers trying something slightly more firepower laden, but in sort of close quarters feels it isn't worth it, and she will simply try the same thing again. It certainly is. And there is a sort of unpleasant sizzling sound as another bolt of energy crackles out of Yaffe's hand and slams into the cube for 7 points of damage.
Norland will try the same thing again. He will launch another firebolt at it. Again, points his finger, utters some arcane words.
It suddenly forms an appendage of sorts, and it lashes out at Yaffe.
She's a little surprised that it is targeting her, considering she's not really up close and personal with it. So it almost hits her because she freezes for a second, but at the last moment, she's going to sidestep the pseudopod and barely sidestep this flailing appendage.
Orvar would like to hit it again.
And you definitely hit it.
Nice.
So Dorvar will just keep swinging his warhammer as it slowly splits into smaller pieces, and he smashes them into the ground. Gelatinous matter going everywhere. as eventually the small cubes stop moving.
The skeleton in its chainmail clatters to the ground, as does some coin.
Vi's standing there getting some splatters and then some more splatters, and she decides she's just going to step back until Dorivar is done.
Yes. As soon as a small piece of it lands in Yappy's hair, she is backing up.
That stuff is gross.
I think it's dead, Dorivar.
You can never be sure with these things.
It's dead enough
Never
for me, for one.
Dyra, it's been dealt with.
Is he still in earshot, do you think? Or has he fled?
I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
Beware, the skeleton's on the
hold-
floor.
Yes, there is a skeleton on the floor.
Nope.
That's what I thought. I mean, it's not going to move.
Nope.
There's money, if that helps.
Nope.
I didn't think so. I can't say I'm particularly tempted to scrounge through that for coin myself.
I'm already splattered, what with Dorivar and the thing trying to glump me anyways. I will go and parse out the coin. Drag the skeleton out. Is a chainmail or anything look like it's still in good shape?
Non-magical, but perfectly functional chain.
Shake it out and loosely roll it up and pull a strap from my pack and strap it up. Use one of my armor straps.
I'm going to imagine they didn't keep that in their storeroom on purpose.
Oh, the cube? I have
Yes.
never seen anything like that before.
Why? I can't say I particularly wish to repeat the experience.
I don't know whether we were lucky or just it was ineffectual, but that thing was huge, and I think we got out pretty easy.
Considering it clearly ate someone, I agree.
Ooh, do you think this stuff is like will it dissolve our clothes?
I don't know.
Guess we'll find out. That would be uncomfortable.
I don't think we're going to coax Dyra down here, so perhaps we'd better finish searching as
Yes.
quick as possible.
Anything else in this room?
Nope.
Pick up the
Nope.
torch and wave it around. Yep. On to the next.
Yaffy is gonna open the door to the east. So I think there is one.
Dyra, I've closed the door to 15. Why don't you come on down and help us with the other rooms?
Thank you.
Anyway, I'm opening the door on the east room.
The large room is made of stone and glows faintly. There are several long tables and shelves containing books and alchemical supplies. The wall has some writing on it, which does appear to be of a magical nature.
Yeah, Yappy is going to Norland say, well, I don't really understand how you do magic, but you write things down in that book of yours, and I think you could write that down. It is to detect ether. So, you can find it before it corrupts our souls or something.
And he looks at you a little like he doesn't want to accept this from his lessers, but he, in the end, sits and makes some notes into his spellbook.
I don't understand how you can do magic just by writing things down.
He looks up at you as if he's going to answer, and then decides against it.
No, just to each their own.
Still nothing on the order or whatever place. Not even pamphlets. Think they would at least have a sign, their logo on it, or their heraldic devices.
There's nothing saying what this place is.
I know.
Maybe they're a secret organization? Very secret?
Maybe. But then how does everybody know that this organization existed and that Gilgasho was part of it?
I
Oh
don't
well.
know.
Or maybe it was just Fawn's father.
Perhaps.
All right, cross the
Well,
hall.
yes, I don't think there's anything else in here. Well, there's a load of books, but Norland can't read them all before we have to leave, so.
Your journey ends in a large chamber with burning torches. It has a series of stones in a circle with writing similar to the one in the forest. On the table is a pouch of a strange powder, and around the circle there is 4 small metal canisters that look like it is designed to have held something that has burned. Not a candle, more like powder.
Well, I have absolutely no idea what that is.
Circle seems reminiscent of the one in the forest, but it's all magic. Vi looks around the room. Since largely reading stuff does not appeal to her, she's pretty easy to go through something like this.
Yappy's gonna go have a closer look at it. She really doesn't know what it is, but
It does look very similar to the one
wants
in the
to.
forest.
I don't know what this is for. It does look like the circle in the forest, but I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little paranoid, but do you think that maybe that book that was saying that the Aether corrupts and, this sort of thing, and we find some powder with, mysterious whatever in it, and another circle that's similar to the one that moved us from one place to another. Do you think maybe they used it to trap the druid? Like maybe that was a trap and maybe someone here trapped him.
Someone here?
Like I said, I'm probably just paranoid.
I don't know. Wow. Go Norland.
Good time for it.
Way to show your lessons.
He was motivated.
Yeah.
Very.
Everyone else is like, I don't know. He's like, I'll show you.
He watches you for a time, and you can see the frown deepening as he listens to the conversation. And there's not exactly disdain, but he's clearly frustrated.
Norland, I can see you're dying to tell us how much you know about this and how obvious it is. So please, the floor is yours.
He walks over, he picks up the bag of powder, and with his other hand, with open palm, he points at it as if this is rudimentary. And then he walks to the first of the canisters and he takes some of the powder out and he shows you the powder as if you couldn't see it. And then
Thank you.
he points at the canister and then points at the powder and then puts the powder in the canister. And then he goes to the next one and he repeats it, complete with pointing at the powder.
Yes, see, I understand that that is something you could do and that people did. What I don't know is what doing that will do. Hence why I didn't.
And he motions in the circle and points at Dyra's torch.
Yes, light it on fire.
But what if that sends you back to the caverns we were just in?
And at those caverns, there was a ship. And if there was not a ship, one would assume that this organization, whatever it may have been, did not have a teleportation device that would go from here to the forest a kilometer away. This must go somewhere else of importance.
I didn't realize we knew where we were.
We're in the forest. The dim light.
You are correct.
Fine. We just try it and see what happens?
We don't need to see what happens. We know what will happen. The question will be exactly where we end up, but we cannot stay here.
Yes, that will be what happens, where we end up.
Why can't we stay here? We'll just trek our way out here to civilization again.
Which could take quite some time.
Yeah, but if the boat is gone and we end up in the cavern, we'll never get out. We don't, like you said, we don't know where we're gonna go.
There was not a circle, however, at the cavern. I do not believe that this will go there.
It shouldn't lead there. No, I doubt it.
Okay. I don't understand magic, so I'll trust you.
Clearly, he says with a raised eyebrow.
I do understand my maul, though, so another one of those comments, and I'll show you up close how my maul works.
Ken comes back. Why do I have 1 hit point? Oh, funny story, dude.
That was my question, too. I would have finished it off.
You will have to forgive me, Norlin. I'm rather new to the whole magic thing.
He raises the other eyebrow and lowers the first. Clearly.
Yes, quite. So,
I don't
would you
wanna
like
go
to do
back.
the honors?
They said we're not going back, Dyra. We'll end up somewhere else, probably.
We are not going back to that cavern.
I mean, if it was the Order, maybe they had another house somewhere in civilization and they just traveled back and forth. We can hope.
If I had to guess, it'll probably take us to the city, since Gilgazo had dealings there. That's merely a guess. I can't guarantee it.
That is a
but
better guess than some of the others that you have made.
Thanks.
Have we gathered everything we're taking then?
I
I
believe
have
so.
everything of mine.
All right, then. Vi will go stand in a circle.
Well, Dyra has the torch, so
Oh, well, Dara was just standing there with his eyes closed.
Dyra, can you light this, please?
He peeks through one eyelid, turns to the side, holds his left arm out as far as he can, with the holding the tip of the torch as far as he can, and slowly lowers it. He starts cringing as the torch hits the powder.
And it ignites and it goes in an arch to the next canister and does the same until all 4 are lit. And then you feel the now familiar sensation of teleportation as you disappear and then reform somewhere else.
I have